Eating healthy for American Heart Month, so important. And a local restaurant is cooking up healthy fish dishes packed with protein and nutrients. Joining us now to share a great recipe is Jim Oppett, corporate executive chef from the Joe Muer Restaurant Group. Always a pleasure to have you on with us. Of course, this group includes Joe Muer Seafood in Bloomfield Hills. Good morning, Joe.
Morning. How are you today? We are ready to do some heart-healthy fish cooking. So Chef Justin is here with me. We're going to make the protein here. It's going to be an East Coast striped bass. Beautiful fish here, indigenous to the Atlantic Ocean along the eastern seaboard. Why this fish is great right now as the weather gets colder as it has been, all the fish migrate south. So we're going to find this East Coast striped bass right now around the Carolinas, Atlanta, heading in towards Florida and the southern Atlantic there. So right now it's got a great diet of lots of shrimp, calamari. So it's a wonderful, rich tasting fish. You can see Chef Justin is cutting it just into some smaller nuggets here. But let's talk about the ciappino that we're going to make, and we're actually going to poach the fish into it so we have a nice, healthy dish. While you guys were at the commercial break, we started sauteing some garlic, shallots, onions, a little bit of fennel. You can see the beautiful color here in the pan. I want to add a little bit of smoke flavor to this without adding bacon or doing anything unhealthy. So I smoke roasted a little bit of red bell pepper and some shishito pepper. It's going to give it a nice roasted flavor, but keeping it healthy.
Now, does that add a lot of heat to the dish, or is it just?
Add a lot of roasted sweetness to the dish. And because we're starting with just a little bit of olive oil, I don't have any pork fat or anything in here, so we can keep the dish nice and healthy. Once I get all that nice caramelization, I'm going to add a little bit of white wine. We're going to reduce all that flavor and fond into my stew. And the beautiful part of this here is I have a fresh fish broth. Obviously, here at Joe Muer Seafood, we make everything fresh from scratch every day. All of our fresh is cut fresh every day. We get deliveries 7 days a week. So ciappino, it's a wonderful white wine tomato fish stew. I've got some tomatoes, just some green onion. I'm going to add a little bit more fish broth. Chef Justin here is going to go ahead and add the fish here to this stew. What we're going to do is let all this poach together gently. This can either be done here on the stove top, or we could do it in the oven. But this is going to take about 10 to 15 minutes. Look at all the beautiful colors and flavors.
I mean, it's like the colors of the rainbow, and they always say you should eat like the colors of the rainbow because it's packed with so many nutrients, and then you're adding the protein.
Yeah, absolutely. A little couple saffron threads here are really going to round this dish out. So, it's a little difficult here to make a fish dish in 5 minutes on television, but this is a beautiful, healthy way. And I think some of the challenges are when we try to eat healthy is you're exactly right. We have to make sure we keep the protein content high. We get the satiety, that sense, that feeling of fullness from eating lots of protein. Mm-hmm. But you want to eat aesthetically. Look at this beautiful dish with all the colors, all the flavors. You've got different textures. It's going to go well.
And Chef Jim, I have a quick question for you. What is really the difference for the average person? They might not understand, like the difference between wild-caught fish and farm-raised fish. Is one healthier than the other?
That's a great question. A big challenge is that, like salmon right now, we buy all the wild salmon we can when it's in season. But about 95% of all the salmon in the world is farm-raised. So it's just like anything else. There's people that do a great job. They do it in an all-natural, I call it like aquaculture. They take a species of fish, they raise it in an all-natural environment. It's not kept in captivity necessarily. 99% water, 1% fish. We source all wild fish as much as possible. There are a few certain species that we do secure from premium high-end aquaculture. So, it's sustainable. It's good for the environment, less damage to the ecosystem. There's a lot of challenges to it. That's a half-an-hour conversation, Alicia, that we can have one day.
I'm sure. Now, is this dish available for dine-in or carry-out? Both?
No, it's going to be one of our specials that we run periodically through the month of Lent. We have about 10 to 15 different fresh fish on our menu every day, along with shrimp, crab, lobster tail. So check us out, 2 Joe Muer locations, Bloomfield Hills and Detroit. Once this finishes off here, you can see Justin's got a beautiful bowl here. The fish, we cut nice little thin slivers, so by the time the mushrooms cook, the fish is cooked. all the flavor permeates through. I wish you could smell this.
I know, I wish I could too. And I wish we had more time. As you're plating that, I just want to thank you so much for joining us today. Jim Oppett, Corporate Executive Chef from Joe Muer Restaurant Group, which of course also includes Joe Muer. And Justin, thank you also. You were slicing that fish so well.
Thank you.
Enjoy, enjoy. That's a good breakfast right there.